So many of you might have heard that the flying school, FTA, Flying Time Aviation at Shoreham Airport, went into administration back in the spring, which is worrying in itself, but it follows two other main flying schools in the UK. That's the one at Tayside, Dundee Airport, and the one at Bournemouth Airport. Both went into administration in the previous 6 months. Now, I raised this in Parliament in a debate, and I've just organised to take a delegation to see the aviation minister, because there are two problems here. One, a lot of students had paid for their courses up front, typically up to £90,000, only to find that FTA had gone under and there's little money left in the pot for a refund. Some people were halfway through their course, which then meant they had to try and find another course they could transfer to and to find new money to pay for that. Some people had mortgaged their houses, some people had braided parents' pensions in order to fund a pilot training course. So there are hundreds of prospective pilots from those three schools alone, including many at Shoreham, who've been left severely out of pocket and unable to fulfil their dream of training as pilots. And there are not financial protections, amazingly, as I found out, around paying fees up front. It's not covered by the Financial Conduct Authority. You can't get student loans to train as a pilot, so people have had to raise their own money, and for many, that money has now gone down the drain. So I want to see a change in the law for greater protections for students, so you don't have to pay everything up front, and if things do go awry, you can get that money back. I'm working also with the Civil Aviation Authority to see what they can do to help those students get onto new courses, because the role of the CAA is only to scrutinise the quality and safety of flying training schools, not actually their sustainability financially, and that's what's happened. They were affected by COVID, they were affected by some changes in Brexit, affected absolutely by the rise in fuel for planes as well, which is why many of them have been in a slightly parlous financial state. But the second point is that this is not an isolated incident. Three big training schools, Shoreham alone, in the good days, was responsible for something like 6 or 7% of all the pilots' licences granted in the UK. We've now lost a lot of capacity, and we are now going to be struggling to be able to find training places to train pilots who we need in the UK at UK flying schools, and many may have to go abroad as well. So there's a capacity issue, but there's an immediate issue about all those students who've lost out. So I met many of the families of the students, some constituents, some from other parts of the country. I've been working with other MPs to see what we can do to help them. I'm taking the delegation to see the aviation minister, but this is also not good for Shoreham Airport, because this is a large part of the activity at Shoreham Airport as well. So I am on the case. I'll report back to see what progress we can make. But clearly, it's not a happy situation for many students, but for the future of training British pilots as well.